First, the council facing allegations it failed to listen to girls who said that they were being targeted by men for sexual abuse. Oldham Council is accused of failing to respond when their social services department was warned about grooming.
Yes, we can reveal now how one victim who spoke exclusively to this programme was said by a social worker to be attention-seeking when she reported being groomed. The council says it's now asked for the Greater Manchester's Combined Authority to take over its investigation. This special report by our correspondent Ashley Darracott.
You are being asked to leave. OK.
Disruption at a recent meeting of Oldham Council. Residents in the public gallery refused to leave after demanding answers about an investigation into historical allegations of sexual grooming. Sam is a survivor. At the age of 12, she was repeatedly raped by a gang of Asian men from the town. In 2007, ringleader Shakil Chowdhury was jailed for 6 years.
I got lost, asked somebody for help who was a taxi driver, and asked for help to get home. He didn't, and he took advantage of the situation. He assaulted me, invited 4 other people who all assaulted me.
Only one of her attackers was ever convicted. Sarwar Ali was charged but never faced trial, while on bail it's thought he fled the country. Sam believes what happened could and should have been prevented. These Oldham Social Services reports, obtained exclusively for ITV News, show that months before her ordeal, she was talking about having sexual relationships with men she'd met online. While concerns were raised about her vulnerability, and she was warned about the dangers of the internet, Sam was described by one social worker as being attention-seeking.
It's shocking the fact that the social services was like that, and how they just brushed it under the carpet and didn't actually deal with the problem.
Oldham Council recently announced it was appointing an independent expert to scrutinise safeguarding practices in the borough. A review examining the response to concerns focusing solely on years 2012 and 13, when grooming gangs were alleged to be targeting young people in children's homes and through taxi firms and shisha bars. But only last week it instead handed over responsibility to the ongoing inquiry into historical child sexual abuse ordered by the Greater Manchester Combined Authority.
On the current basis, which is that it would look at events only from 2012 and 13, it doesn't fully explore the grooming which has been known to take place in Oldham historically, particularly from the 2006 period and onwards from that. So as a result, the real context of any failings that might have occurred will not be explored.
In 2012, around the time of the Rochdale grooming convictions, similar concerns were being raised with Oldham Council about the vulnerability of young girls in this town. Indeed, within a matter of months, a councillor had been sacked for leaking a confidential police memo warning of the extent of the problem. Hugh MacDonald was that councillor and a former lead member for Children's Services.
One of the concerns which I did have was that I visited one of the children's homes. I was told, by the officer in charge, that there was Asian men turning up at night and getting the young girls to go out. I was told that we couldn't stop it.
Also of interest could be the activities of this man. Shabir Ahmed was the ringleader of Rochdale's infamous grooming gang who called himself Daddy. Granada Reports has discovered claims that prior to his conviction, he was employed by Oldham Council. It's led to calls for an inquiry over the entire period the town was suspected of links to paedophile gangs.
The one thing it has to be clear, comprehensive and understandable, because people will not accept anything what there's any smell or feel a cover-up.
Ashley Darracott, ITV News in Oldham.
Well, a statement from Oldham Council confirms that they have handed over their investigation to the Greater Manchester Combined Authority. It says, as well as ensuring a rigorous approach to reviewing historic practice, this will also ensure that Oldham benefits from being one of the first boroughs to implement recommendations that will set new standards for safeguarding practice.
Next, the jury's gone out to consider its verdict in the retrial of the match commander on the day of the Hillsborough disaster.
The former Chief Superintendent, David Duckenfield, is accused of the gross negligence manslaughter of 95 Liverpool football fans who were killed in the crush on the terraces more than 30 years ago.
Well, our Hillsborough correspondent Andy Bonner has been following the case.